Ever felt like your reality is being distorted, making you question your own memory, perception, or sanity? This unsettling experience is not just a plot twist in a thriller, but a real-life psychological manipulation known as gaslighting. Stay tuned as we unravel the intricacies of this psychological manipulation. Imagine someone denying events or conversations that you clearly remember. This is denial, a classic tactic used in gaslighting. Picture this. You're absolutely certain of a conversation you had or an event you witnessed. But the other person, the gaslighter, flatly denies it. They insist it never happened or that you're remembering it wrong. This isn't a simple disagreement or a case of faulty memory. It's a deliberate strategy to make you question your perception and your sanity, as if you're living in a parallel reality where your experiences and memories don't count. The impact? Well, it's like a drop of poison seeping into your self-confidence. Gradually, you start doubting your own memory, your judgment, even your sanity. You may feel disoriented, anxious, and isolated. And why does the gaslighter do this? It's about power and control. By undermining your trust in your own perceptions, they gain the upper hand. This, my friends, is the first component of gaslighting. Now picture someone downplaying your feelings or experiences. This is minimization, another subtle yet potent tool used in gaslighting. Imagine, you've just had a hard day at work and you're sharing your experiences with a friend. Instead of empathy, you receive a dismissive response. Oh, it's not that bad, they say. Everyone has tough days. In essence, they're undermining your feelings, making them seem trivial or exaggerated. The effect of minimization can be deeply disorienting. It can lead you to question the validity of your emotions, to wonder if you're just being overly sensitive or unreasonable. Over time, this can erode your confidence, leading to self-doubt and a reduced sense of self-worth. And what's the purpose of it all? It's simple. By minimizing your experiences, the gaslighter makes themselves seem more rational, more grounded, and ultimately, more powerful. They're essentially saying, I know better than you. Trust me, not your own feelings. Such minimization is another powerful tactic in the gaslighting playbook. Ever been accused of behaviors you are not guilty of? Imagine this. You're in a discussion with someone and suddenly they accuse you of being angry when they are the ones raising their voice. This, my friends, is projection, a classic gaslighting technique. Projection is the psychological phenomenon where the gaslighter deflects their own behaviors, emotions, or traits by attributing them to you. It's like they're holding up a mirror, only it's not your reflection you see, but theirs. They're the ones shouting, yet they accuse you of raising your voice. They're the ones lying, but they call you the liar. It's a twisted game of smoke and mirrors where they project their own faults onto you, causing you to question your own behavior and sanity. The impact of this can be profound, causing you to constantly second-guess yourself and eroding your self-esteem over time. So remember, when you're feeling accused, take a step back and ask yourself, is this projection at play? Projection, a classic gaslighting technique. What happens when someone deliberately distorts facts to confuse you? That's the essence of the false information technique, a critical component of gaslighting. Now, imagine this. You distinctly remember a conversation you had with someone, but they insist that it never happened. Or perhaps they change the details of the dialogue, altering the reality to fit their narrative. This is how a gaslighter sows the seeds of doubt. They may tell you that you forgot an important meeting when in reality they never informed you about it. Or they might insist that you promised to do something, even though you have no recollection of making such a promise. The goal is to make you question your memory, your perception, and ultimately, your sanity. These manipulations are not random, they're calculated moves designed to keep you off balance. False information is a potent tool, and in the hands of a gaslighter, it's nothing less than a weapon. False information, another weapon in the gaslighter's arsenal. Ever been kept in the dark about important information? This is a question many victims of gaslighting find themselves asking. Withholding information is a subtle yet powerful tool in the gaslighter's arsenal. It's a bit like having a puzzle with missing pieces, making it impossible to see the full picture. Gaslighters may selectively share or completely withhold critical information. controlling the narrative and keeping the victim perplexed. For instance, they might conveniently forget to mention a significant event or meeting, leaving the victim unaware and unprepared. This can foster feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and insecurity in the victim, further entrenching the gaslighter's control. The impact of this tactic is often profound. The victim may feel constantly on edge, perpetually out of the loop, and doubting their own ability to keep track of information. This can lead to an unhealthy dependency on the gaslighter for knowledge and understanding. Withholding information, a subtle yet powerful gaslighting method. Ever heard false statements being repeated until they seem true? This is the essence of repetition in the context of gaslighting. It's a technique where the gaslighter will continually assert a false narrative, despite the victim's protestations or evidence to the contrary. Imagine, for instance, a situation where a gaslighter constantly insists that you're forgetful, even though you're certain you're not. The unrelenting repetition begins to sow the seeds of doubt. This relentless barrage can wear down the victim, making the false narrative seem more plausible over time. The impact of this tactic can be devastating. The victim begins to question their memory and perception, leading to a sense of disorientation and confusion. Repetition can be so powerful that it can alter the victim's understanding of reality, thereby increasing the gaslighter's control. As we delve into the mechanisms of gaslighting, we realize the profound psychological impact it can have. Repetition, a potent tool in the gaslighting process. Ever felt like your concerns or emotions are being trivialized? This is an experience that many victims of gaslighting know all too well. When a gaslighter uses trivialization, they're essentially making light of or dismissing the feelings and concerns of the person they're manipulating. It's a way of telling the victim that their emotional reactions are out of proportion, that they're being overly sensitive or dramatic. For instance, if a person is upset about being lied to, the gaslighter might respond with something like, "You're making a big deal out of nothing. Everyone tells little white lies now and then." This is a classic example of trivialization, where the gaslighter minimizes the seriousness of their actions and makes the victim feel like they're overreacting. The impact of this can be devastating, leading the victim to doubt their own emotions and reactions. It's a subtle yet powerful form of manipulation that undermines the victim's self-confidence and self-worth. Trivialization, another insidious form of gaslighting. What if someone uses others to manipulate and undermine you? You might be encountering gaslighting by proxy. This tactic involves the gaslighter enlisting other parties, such as friends, family members, or colleagues, to further their manipulation. Imagine a scenario where a gaslighter spreads false information about you to a mutual friend. The friend, unknowingly, becomes an accomplice in the gaslighting, believing they are acting in your best interest. They might confront you, echoing the gaslighter's false narrative, causing further doubt and confusion. This approach serves to amplify the gaslighter's influence, making it even more challenging for the victim to discern the truth. The victim is not just up against a single gaslighter, but an entire network of individuals, all echoing the same distorted narrative. This amplifies the power of the gaslighter, making the victim's reality seem increasingly distorted. Gaslighting by proxy, a complex but effective gaslighting tactic. Ever been confused by a mix of lies and truths or contradictory information? This is a common strategy used by gaslighters to keep their victims off balance. Imagine being told one thing on Monday, only to be told the opposite on Tuesday. Or perhaps the gaslighter presents you with a fact one moment, then disputes it the very next, leaving you in a fog of confusion. This constant state of uncertainty is a potent tool in the hands of a gaslighter. It disorients the victim, making them question their own judgment and perception of reality. When you're uncertain, you're more likely to rely on the gaslighter for clarity, further tightening their control. Consider this example. A gaslighter might insist they told you about a critical meeting last week, even though you have no recollection of it. This causes confusion, leading you to doubt your memory and trust their version of events. Confusion, a classic gaslighting strategy. Ever felt isolated from your sources of support or validation? Gaslighters often employ this tactic with alarming precision, Isolation is the act of creating a gulf between the victim and their support system, be it friends, family, or trusted mentors. By doing so, gaslighters gain greater control over the narrative they wish to construct, keeping the victim in a state of constant uncertainty. Picture a relationship where one partner slowly and subtly discourages the other from spending time with friends or family. Or a workplace scenario where a manipulative boss systematically undermines an employee's relationship with their colleagues. In both instances, the victim may feel increasingly alone, their world shrinking around them. This isolation can be emotionally devastating, often leading to feelings of loneliness, self-doubt, and even depression. The victim might feel trapped, unable to seek help or validation from those they trust. Isolation, the final and perhaps most damaging component of gaslighting. Gaslighting, a subtle but powerful form of psychological manipulation. Its 10 facets, from denial to isolation, show us its insidious nature. Awareness and understanding are our defense. Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.